Hi, Greg Dell Disability Lawyers, here with attorney Alexander Palamara. And Alex, we're going to talk about New York Life's reasons for long-term disability denials. And it's a series of videos that we've been doing. These are shorter videos than what we usually do and more focused. And in this one, I want to talk about what comes to your mind as basically the number one reason that you see New York Life denies long-term disability claims.
Whenever Cigna or New York Life denies claims initially, and people get denied from the get-go, the highest probably reason, or the most common reason I see is because they say there's not enough proof to prove your claim, not enough evidence from the medical records, or that we didn't receive the medical records from the doctors and whatnot. And that's pretty much the first reason I always see if someone gets denied from the get-go. And it's kind of an easy remedy in a sense, because a lot of people don't realize that when you're the claimant, it's your duty to prove to the insurance company that you're disabled. And a lot of people rely upon the insurance companies, and they sign authorizations and they think, oh, the insurance company is going to do the work and reach out to my doctors, reach out to the hospitals and get the medical records that prove my claim. But if you're asking the insurance company to prove it to themselves, that they have to pay you money, it's an illogical thought. They're going to do a terrible job at it, and I see them do a terrible job at it all the time. So people have to realize that it's their duty to prove it to the insurance company that they are disabled. And to prove it to the insurance company, you have to provide the proof, of course.
Okay, so let's talk about proof, because proof of disability comes in the form of objective evidence and subjective evidence. Talk about what those two things are and how a person can present objective evidence of a long-term disability claim.
Objective evidence would obviously include, any diagnostic testing that can be done to show your claim, whether you have God forbid, HIV, there's obviously blood testing to prove that. If you have a back condition, you can do MRIs. There's all x-rays. There's different ways to objectively prove that you have these conditions that the insurance company would not be able to dispute your diagnosis. So there's diagnostic evidence such as that. Some issues, some medical issues, there's no objective evidence. Like there's no way to prove a headache. There's no way to prove, a mental health claim, other than the doctor spending time with you and speaking with you over a long period of time. But other than that, there's no blood test to show that you have depression and anxiety. So if there's any way to show objectively that you have a condition, you have to get into the insurance company. If there's no way to prove objectively that you have something, a mental health diagnosis, you have to support with as much medical documentation as you possibly can. So you have to be treating with the right providers and getting all those records together.
And then when we talk about subjective evidence, what is that and how does that physically get into the records?
So subjective evidence, something like I said earlier, headache, maybe something like pain.
Right.
There's no way you can ever know how much pain someone's suffering from by a test. I can't hook you up to a computer and says, wow, this guy has 10 out of 10 pain. So the only way you can actually get into your medical records, your symptoms and your complaints is by telling your doctors, telling the nurse practitioners, telling the nurses, telling the hospital that you're suffering from this and that it's excruciating or at a 10 out of 10 or 5 out of 10 or whatever it is. The only way it's going to get into those records is by telling your doctor transcribing into the records. And you need to make sure that your doctor is putting everything in there. Sometimes the doctors, they have busy practices. They might just fill out paperwork in 2 seconds and move on. They might say, complaint, they're feeling fine or anything like that. But you have to be as clear as possible that you need your records to be as clear as possible to show to the insurance company that you are disabled.
And in terms of reviewing the medical records and how important it is to submit objective evidence and to submit subjective evidence, who is New York Life going to rely upon to review those records and make a determination to support their statement that there's no medical evidence to support your restrictions and limitations?
So this is the situation, is that most often in a denial of claims, and they're going to get the medical records from your doctors, but they're probably going to ignore the opinions of your doctors, and they're going to rely upon either their own nurses, their own employee nurses, sometimes their own designated medical officers and employees of the company and doctor employees of the companies. And initially, for the initial denial, they keep it all in-house. Sometimes, if a person's been on claim for a long period of time, or sometimes even with initial denial, they might go to an independent doctor, someone they call independent who's not really independent.
Right.
But these doctors or these nurses or the employee doctors or nurses from the insurance company will perform a review of these medical records and typically give a biased analysis of your restrictions, limitations, and they run with it and say you're not disabled. But it's very important that you get them as much supportive medical documentation as possible to prevent them from having the opportunity to deny your claim.
And I think those are great tips that you're providing to people, and we work very closely with claimants to review the medical records and make sure that they're being documented appropriately to support the claim, because we're looking at it from the basis of what does this trained person at the insurance company, what do they want to see? And the doctors who are treating the patients, they don't know. They're just documenting to treat the patient because they don't, they treat the patient, not the chart. So sometimes the chart, which is the record, doesn't look good, and New York Life and most disability insurance companies take advantage of that. So one of the solutions we offer is to provide a complimentary review of the long-term disability claim, whether you've been denied or not denied, and help give some tips to help you avoid a denial, or if you have been denied, obviously put a strong strategy in place to be able to prepare a super strong appeal, or alternatively, if there's no other options left, to file a lawsuit. And since we understand so well the medical records and what's there, we're going to give someone the best opportunity possible to win their appeal. So no matter where you live in the country, feel free to call Alex, myself. We'd love to provide you with this free review that we've discussed, and we look forward to speaking with you. Hi, I'm Gregory Dell, the managing attorney of Dell Disability Lawyers, and I hope you find the video you just watched helpful. We put these videos out all of the time, and we'd love if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel. Beyond our videos on our YouTube channel, we also have lots of information available on our website at diattorney.com, and we encourage you to come to our website. The goal is that we want you to be educated about the disability insurance process, and when you get to our website, you'll see that we have information all about your specific disability insurance company, your occupation, and your medical condition. And we've designed our website such that you can easily search our website to find things that you may specifically be looking for. Now, at our website, we have thousands and thousands of pages of information, hundreds of videos that you can search, plus we're building a section of reviews of all the disability insurance companies, and we have the Ask Our Lawyer section where you can go ahead and ask us any questions that you may have. Now, we realize that you may not need us right now, but you may need us in the future to help you with your disability claim, and we think one of the best ways to keep in touch is by clicking the button below and subscribing to our channel. And most importantly, again, no matter where you live in the country, we're always available. Just go ahead and give us a call. We're happy to discuss your claim and let you know immediately if we can help you.